You're not wrong, Rob Portman. You are not wrong. PoziDrive Volkswagen Challenge are up next, and they're out on track and standing by to get into their first race of the day. Rory Atkinson will be on pole position alongside Bevan Masters with main squeeze there. And we can see in picture in the PoziDrive car alongside Wayne Masters for the second row of the grid for Class A. Remember, there are 3 separate starts here for the PoziDrive Volkswagen Challenge. Class A goes on its own. About 10 seconds later, Class B goes, and about 10 seconds after that, Class C goes. Atkinson at the front end of Class A. Stian Kriel makes a welcome return to the Volkswagen Challenge Class B competitors, and outguns Leighton Fourie, championship leader in the Class Bs at the moment for Express Hire and Team Red Racing's Universal Motorsport entry. He's alongside Stian Kriel for, of course, the lead of Class B. And then further down, it's Adrian de Beer and Pierluigi Mussolini who are on the front row for Class C. And you'll see that these cars, with 43 of them, are going to go right round turn 8 as they line up for the first start of our first heat of PoziDrive Volkswagen Challenge. As they make their way to the grid, you can see somebody standing there going, where am I supposed to be? I think small mistake from one of the drivers to try and find out where their position is. Maybe he wasn't quite sure which side of the track second and third are. I think it looks like it could be Bevan Masters there, but I stand to be corrected. That's Derek Smallberger a bit further back there. Christel alongside him. Behind them will be Roland Hopkins and Mike Barbaglia. And then there'll also be Davy van der Merwe, also out of Team Red Racing and Universal Motorsport. Little entry there. Looks like 9. Oh, that's Bevan. It is Bevan Masters, and Bevan Masters got a problem. He's been pushed to the side of the track. The CPS warehouse car that was stricken in the middle of the track, looks like it might have just given up the ghost there. And that's not the way Bevan Masters wanted to start, that's for sure. So Atkinson and Bevan Masters, well, Atkinson's on the front row now all by himself. Voldy Mikey's and Wayne Masters second row. Stelio Neosios and Derek Smallberger alongside each other there. Then you've got Christel and Roland Hopkins, Mike B and Davy van der Merwe. Stian Kriel, Leighton Fourie, ahead of Elmer Cruz and Stuart Mack, Hashan Naidu and Robin Kriel, Charisse van der Merwe and Andre Needham. And then, of course, further back there, it is Adrian de Beer, Pierluigi Mussolini, Mohamed Mo Karodia, Rainer van Heerden and Philip Cruiser alongside Dino Smith, Martin de Beer, Charles Anderson and Sam Dale at the back for the PoziDrive team. Running across the circuit there is Bevan Masters. That's definitely not what he wanted to do. And remember, of course, a big happy birthday to Robin Kriel from T-Rex Racing, Creative Inc., Team Red Racing, and everybody at the Passion for Speed Festival. One of our ladies and competitors celebrating their birthday here today with us at the Passion for Speed Festival. So happy birthday there, Robs. Hope it all goes according to plan. You can get a little further up there and maybe take a win ahead of Leighton Fourie and Stian Kriel. Just trying to sort out the back of the grid there quickly before we go into race action. Philip Cruiser might be taking up his position. He's got his position sorted out now. Remember, we've got 3 separate starts here. Class A, about 10 seconds. Class B, another 10 seconds. Class C. So lots of action to be expected now out on track with PoziDrive Volkswagen Challenge. Revs are starting to build. Waiting for those lights for Class A. There we go, down towards turn 1. Good start there from the Class A competitors. It's Rory Atkinson who gets the drop. And it looks like around the outside, Voldy Mike. He's also getting a drop there into second place. Being gifted an opportunity. Stian Kriel going to go side by side with Leighton Fourie for Class B start. As they head down towards turn 1. Looks like Leighton Fourie going to have the inside line. But Stian Kriel comes across on him, trying to close the door. Didn't quite get around the outside. Then in the background, you can see Class C just starting in the background. But Leighton Fourie now going at it. Davy van der Merwe bit up the road there from his teammate just at the back end of Class A. Here comes Class C, 4x4 into turn 1. Adrian de Beer just going to hang on. Yes, only just to get through into turn 1. Just beat out the rest of that pack. Mike Barbaglia in the mix now. As you can see, the 13 car just squeezing out. And is that Christel? Yes, it is. Christel slowing in the PoziDrive car. Didn't quite get the start he wanted from his 7th on the grid. He's dropped right to the back of Class A's field right now as they come through into turn 5 for the first time. Smallberger with a bit of pressure coming from the 16 car there of Roland Hopkins. Hopkins all over the back end of that Sabre Tech machine. Smallberger looking to try and close that gap down between himself and the cars just ahead of him, but it is Rory Atkinson who will lead across the line for the first time. Here comes Dell back at him. 23 car there, Estelios Nosios closing on the back end of Masters. Wayne Masters, the lone Masters out there at the moment with the demise and having to retire his car on the start line. Bevan Masters. Leighton Free from Stian Creel for Class B. Stuart Mack behind them in the PoziDrive car for third. So it's Creative Inc. and Motormart taking on Team Red Racing's Universal Motorsport machine and PoziDrive. The rest of them lining up there. Linus Stern, Koshin Naidu ahead of Robert Creel. Pass off and sell just behind them as well on the back end of Naidu. Koshin Naidu dropped back ever so slightly in that Class B fracas of the intensive start to this race. Little running wide there for a couple of cars, not quite getting the apexes right. Side by side as Ethan Kutsia goes at it there with Ivana Setnich, in fact Nick Setnich. Nick Setnich going, oh, red flag. Red flag, we've had an incident out on track. And there is one of them, no, that's Masters' car, that's parked on the sideline. That's not, there it is, there's the incident down the back straight away. So Masters' car was parked at the start, but here is the protagonist in that maneuver. I'm quite sure if it was two of them. Mitch Kutsia possibly one. But red flag called for, unfortunately. And as you can see, it looked like it might have been Elio Mussolini who was involved in that incident. And possibly Mitch Kutsia, the two cars involved in the incident calling for the red flag. Means that all the cars are going to have to make their way around back onto, of course, the start grid and restart the race. I saw a medical car heading through turn 4. Red flag and red lights on. Everybody going to take up their positions again. Have to restart this one all again. There is another one of the incidents there. And looking at that, 25 car, it's Mokarodia. Mokarodia, unfortunately, with a bit of a problem there. He was in the Class C battle. And looks like he's gone off at turn 4. Ended up with a bit of front end damage there. And Donovan and Hunley checking him out on the sideline to make sure that the driver's okay. Our medical team here, one of the best in the country, there's no doubt about it. Lots of experience between those two to get drivers back up and running. As our cars make their way back to the grid to take up their grid positions again. It won't be a separate restart. It'll basically be Linus Stern onto the original grid positions because they had only just completed lap number 1. So with the red flag, they go back, of course, 1 lap, and that means they take up their original positions. Mokarodia being helped to the medical car, and they'll be sent to the medical center for a bit of a checkup. I don't know if they're going to be able to recover that car and get it back into pit lane in time to be repaired. And also we need a little bit of time, of course, to fix the tire barriers. And you can see Henny the Flag walking down. And Mr. Bean, of course, our official COC here. Aldrich Diedrichs. Start delayed. And the start delay, of course, is because we've got that car stricken in turn 4. And the need to recover it will be priority right now. Looks like our birthday girl's got a bit of a problem as well, as Robin Creel gets pushed to the sideline in the T-Rex car. Her husband Steon alongside her will be looking across going, and now what's going on? So it hasn't quite worked out there for our birthday girl either. John Kruger talking to Steon Creel in the Creative Inc. and Motormart Polo. And I think Robin just getting out of harm's way completely so that they don't have to delay the race starts any longer than what they have already. Mocha Rodeo crashing out of turn 4 with a bit of a problem. As you can see there, they're going to try and get that car off the circuit and out of harm's way. And once it's out of the way, hopefully get that tyre barrier sorted out as quickly as possible as well, so we can restart the first race of PoziDrive Volkswagen Challenge. If you just joined us here at the Passion for Speed Festival at Zwartkops Raceway, a slight delay on the start here for race 1 of PoziDrive Volkswagen Challenge. It'll be the second start of the day for them. Had a big incident with Mocha Rodeo down in turn 4, and they're busy recovering that vehicle. Looks like that might be the grid position that Robin Creel would have taken up, and it looks like that's the reason why she's had to pull onto the sideline. Zwartkops and Kyle Army Marshals combined here, having to do a little bit of repair work to some fluid that's been dropped there. So the birthday girl's birthday hasn't quite gone according to plan for Robin Creel. Robin Creel down in pit lane, I heard on the radio there with Dave. So hopefully we can get hold of her. So Rob Portman is down in pit lane now with Robin Creel. Let's find out exactly what's gone wrong.
Down here in pit with Robin Creel. Unfortunately, your race has come to an abrupt end early. Tell us what's happened.
Yeah, I started in 6th and had a super start. Ended up 4th, and then going towards the back straight, I just noticed the oil light came on and a lot of smoke, so I quickly put it off. And it seems like one of the oil pipes has come off or worn through or something like that. So we'll obviously check after the race. But yeah, what a pity.
It is such a pity. You were looking good, and just take us through racing in this category. It's like, you know, I come from the road racing, two-wheeled racing background. It's like Moto 3. How do you get your way through Zwartkops here with all these cars on track?
No, it's really intense, and it's a really tight series. I mean, yesterday I qualified 6.7 off pole, so I think the race would have been really close and really fun. But yeah, you have to capitalize on sometimes people's mistakes. Yeah, and just push as hard as you can every lap, quali laps, every lap.
Okay, then I've been told I've got to do this for you.
Oh, no.
Happy birthday to you. So that's not really the best birthday present.
Gift. No, it's not really. But hey, hubby's on pole, so let's hope he can win. That'll be a good enough birthday gift for me.
Well, there we go. Let's hope we can see you out later again and mixing it with the front runners again.
Yes, awesome. Thanks so much.
Happy birthday, Robin Creel. You can't ask for better than that. Robert Portman singing happy birthday to you. Sure, it's not normally the way he sings. He normally has a bit more of a rasp in his voice and a bit more shouting and screaming. But needless to say, great to have Robin Creel in the mix here. She'll be in the mix for the next feat, that's for sure, if they can get that car sorted out, and I'm sure they're going to work frantically to get that car sorted. PoziDrive Volkswagen Challenge has been brought to an abrupt stop after only completing one lap. and that's due to a crash with Mocha Rodeo. He got out the car, walked across to, of course, the doctor's car, and is now down in the Zwartkops Medical Center having a little checkup to make sure he's okay before we get the second started of race 1.
On the start line now with Leighton free. Looks like you got a really good start in that part 1 of this race. Pretty much the same for part number 2.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can get a good start like I did for that first start. I got ahead of Stian into turn 2, which I ideally need, because I think getting in front is the main key in this race. So let's hope we can do it again.
And if you don't, I mean, passing around Zwartkops not always the easiest thing. Is it about patience and lining it up?
Yeah, that's very correct. It's about patience, lining it up, seeing where he's weak, and then striking at that point.
Well, good luck, Leighton, and you always produce amazing racing, and do the same now in part number 2.
Thank you.
Pole position here for Stian Kriel. Didn't get the start that you wanted in that part 1. Leighton just got ahead of you. What's the plan now for part number 2 of race 1?
Well, quite simple. Not to light up on the start. This whole black line lying there. Yeah, as I said, it's only a once-off racing this car because it's for sale for Mo Dangle. So I haven't been in a Class B car in 2 years, so it was quite different to start it. But yeah, I'm sure we can't have a worse start than that. So yeah, we'll go for it and then just keep our heads down. Leighton and I, we're pretty evenly matched. 1 lap he's quicker, 1 lap I'm quicker, so it will probably be all the way to the line, unless one of us can break away. So I think both of us respect each other, so we'll keep it clean. But yeah, if we can get out the cars by ourselves, we should be fine.
I was going to say, what is the tactic? Would you rather lead and try and keep him behind you, or sit in second and try and line up a move towards the end of the race, or not even chance it?
I think it's always better just to lead, you know, get the cool air on the car, focus on your own race, and just keep in distance and monitor the gap you have. That's if you're in the comfortable position. Otherwise, if you're in second, you're going to constantly be chasing. 10 laps is gone within a blink of an eye. So yeah, definitely to lead rather.
Well, good luck, Stian, and all the best for this race.
Cool, thank you.
You can see that they are doing some frantic cleanup of the circuit. It looks like possibly Robin Creel's car that dropped the oil that caused the incident in turn 4. But while we've been waiting, caught up with a couple of drivers, one of them being Ben Morgenroot down in pit lane with Rob Morgan.
Another iconic motorsport name here in South Africa, Mr. Ben Morgenroot. You're getting your beauty all warmed up behind us, ready to go do some racing action here.
Yeah, we're on after the Polos. They got a 10 lap and then it's our first hit of the day with the historics, correct.
So now Dave Peterson wants to know, do they let Randfontein guys here into Zwartkops?
Yeah, they do. But you know, they don't allow Zwartkop guys into Randfontein. They stop them at the entrance to Randfontein and search them. And if they don't have a weapon, they give them one.
Now Ben, just for those of us who don't know, like myself, tell us a little bit about your car.
Well, this car I've been campaigning since 2005. It's a car which was originally built by Willie Hepburn. He built the car for somebody else. The guy didn't take the car, and I bought it and completed the car. And it's given me years and years of enjoyment. Many years when I raced directly against Willie, which is what I enjoy doing more than anything else on this circuit. You know, to me, he's an iconic guy. He's always been the guy that I've had to catch. He's been the one that I aim at, and I've got a lot to thank Willie for through the years of motorsport. So yeah, we aren't competing directly against each other today, but he is in another category.
And how hard is it these days getting this car around this track?
You know, it's a fun car to drive. The reason being that it has a tiny tire on it, and it's got a huge engine with a lot of horsepower. It's making over 600 horsepower, and it has to go through a little semi-slick. So it's like driving a car on a dirt road almost. It's huge fun, huge fun.
Well, good luck, Ben. We can't wait to see you in action and enjoy the rest of the Passion for Speed.
Thanks, hold thumbs for us.
Holding thumbs that we can get the cleanup operation done as quickly as possible as well. The Zwartkops and Carl Army Marshals combined now, all based here at Zwartkops Raceway as well. You can kind of call them the Zwartkops Marshals now, but they are originally, of course, from the circuit down the road. And a great bit of team effort being put in here from everybody. Oh, that's quite like you probably see that dust cloud at Carl Army. You're not wrong, Dave Peterson, in the background saying you probably see the dust cloud that they're picking up now with those blowing machines to get all the rubbish off the circuit. If you have just joined us, big welcome here to the Passion for Speed Festival. It's the 20th edition, 20th anniversary edition of what is originally known as the David Piper Series and now the Passion for Speed Festival. Passion for dust clouds right now due to a bit of oil being dropped by Robin Creel in her T-Rex Racing Polo. caused Mo Karodia to have a crash in turn 4. He's okay by the sounds of things. And of course a little bit of damage on that car, which I don't think they're going to be able to repair by the time they get back on track later on in the day for their second 10-lapper. Almost good to go though for the restart of PoziDrive Volkswagen Challenge. So with the fire and rescue guys getting those blowers back onto the back of the fire and rescue van, Rob Portman's back down in pit lane. He's found another Randfontein local. No, he hasn't. He was looking for him. We're going to try and find Rolf Dupe to see if we can. That'll be quite nice. But it looks like we're going to be almost good to go here for restart of race 1. A big welcome back there, and apologies, a little bit of load shedding still here at the circuit. So we're into our third stream now due to some load shedding, but we are back in time for the restart of the PoziDrive Volkswagen Challenge Race 1. Still remains a 10-lap race, as you can see there just on the left-hand side of the screen. 10 laps to go in this one. Rory Atkinson, unfortunately Bevan Masters is not on that front row. He had to pull out at the start of race 1 with a problem in his car. Voldy Mikey's and Wayne Masters the second row. Stelios Nosius and Derek Smallberger. Chris Dale and Roland Hopkins with Mike Barbaglia and Davy van der Merwe making up the rows for Class A. Class B, Stian Kriel, Leighton Free, Elna Cruiser and Stuart Mack. Karshan Naidu and Charisse van der Merwe, Andre Needham, Devin Piazza Musso, Francois van Sale, Alden Haupt, and Bryce Pile. And quickly to run through Adrian de Beer, Pierluigi Mussolini, Mo Karodia, and Rainer van Heerden, who are sitting at the moment at the back for Class C start. Remember, it's 3 separate starts here. Class A goes about 10 seconds later, Class B goes, and about 10 seconds after that, we'll see Class C making their way into the battleground for the second time today. Here we go now for Class A. Lights off, and we're racing down towards turn 1. Another good start. Oh, what a start. Trying to squeeze through there. The 23 car coming through of Stelios Nosius with an amazing start off the line and dropping through in between the top 2 as they head down towards turn 2. Class B in the background just getting started as well, but it looks like down into turn 1. BHIT followed by Stelios Nosius into second with a little tap there from Wayne Masters as they came through turn 2. That's a fantastic start coming out of Stelios. One of the best we've ever seen out of him. Diving into second place behind the BHIT car of Rory Atkinson. B's have already gone through turn 1 into turn 2. Here comes Class C. And Adrian de Beer looks like he's been outgunned there by the looks of things by Pierluigi Mussolini. Mussolini looking for an opportunity to be at the front. This is the middle of Class A. Mike Barbaglia with Davy van der Merwe just behind the Sabertech car of Derek Smallberger, closing onto the back end of Stuart Mack. Rory Atkinson leads things out for BHIT Logistics. Second place, Stelios Nosius on his own, ahead of the Performance Masters car of Wayne Masters. Then Voldy Mikey's, the Sabertech car of Derek Smallberger. And once again, Chris Dale not getting the start he wanted, dropping to the back of Class A. He's tucked in just behind the 16 car of Roland Hopkins. Class A coming to complete lap number 1 now as they head down into G&H Transport Corner and will come across the stripe for the first time in anger. Good move there from Stelios Nosios to get up into the front end of this field. This is Class B heading onto the brakes now into G&H Transport Corner, picking up about 6th and 7th place there. Charisse van der Merwe, new sponsor on the side of her car, driving for Hot 91.9 and Mustang Racing. Andre Needham just behind that as they head down towards turn 2, trying to close up onto the back end of Kaushan Naidu. Kaushan Naidu just into the back and all over the back end of Our Lady Driver. Second lady driver of the 3 that are involved in this category. Davy van der Merwe slowly but surely making his way through the field as well for Team Red Racing and Universal Motorsport. They're stable just on the left-hand side as they head up to the hill there. And up towards the top of the hill, they get to the AMG Driving Academy. But just before you get to AMG, oh, and Stelios is out of shape. Oh, the pressure's getting to the man. He's up in a second place for the first time ever in Class A. And a little bit of pressure there on himself, I think, has allowed Baldy Monkeys and possibly Wayne Masters to get through on him as well. He's going to stay side by side with Masters, possibly have a dive on the inside into turn 8, G&H Transport Corner, and makes it stick. A little bit of a lock up there. Didn't quite go according to plan, though, as he runs wide and onto the dirty stuff. Here comes Davy van der Merwe to try and pounce and get through. Capitalise on 2 mistakes there from Stelios. He gets through on Wayne Masters, the Sabertech car of Derek Smallberger, just behind him as they come under brakes for turn 2. Davy on the inside, looking for a way through on Stelios. Nusias just hanging on for now. Performance Masters car there in 4th place, putting the pressure onto the 2 youngsters ahead. Davy van der Merwe, one of the youngest drivers in this category, alongside his teammate Leighton Free, the two of them only in their teens and actually not old enough to even have driver's licenses, but doing superb jobs in their own battles in Class A and Class B respectively. Andre Needham tucked in behind Charisse van der Merwe, who's behind Kaushan Naidu, who's behind Elna Cruiser, second of the 3 ladies. The third one, of course, stricken on the sideline with Robin Creel's demise. Steon Creel, her husband, leads out Class B ahead of Leighton Free. The Team Red Racing Universal Motorsport team having a superb run so far, but Stuart Mack is definitely closing down in the 3rd of the PoziDrive cars. Look at the gap that's opened up there between Valdi Monkeys. Monkeys into 2nd now. He's got Nusias with a bit of pressure from Davy van der Merwe and Masters, and coming along for the ride is Derek Smallberger in the Sabertech car. So that Sabertech Polo slowly but surely closing onto the back end of that little battle for 3rd. Behind them, Roland Hopkins. Roland Hopkins, one of the best runs we've seen from him in Class B. Class A, I beg your pardon. Late braking from Davy van der Merwe, and he's through. Dives up the inside of Stelios and gets through. Wayne Masters is going to try and do the same thing. He wasn't quite close enough. Slightly different line and different apex there from Wayne Masters. Maybe compromise his drive coming out of turn 2. Let's see if it helps him onto the back straight, though. Slipstream City, here we go. Can we see a move here? No. Davy's good enough to keep out those 2 and fend them off for now. Hopkins still fighting hard there with the 2nd of the PoziDrive cars. That should be Chris Dale at the wheel of that one. It is. Dale now goes on the attack onto Hopkins. Davy late on the brakes into turn 5. Trying to bridge that gap to the car just ahead. He runs wide, puts some wheels in the dirt. That's not the way to do it. Going to have a little bit of less traction as they come out of turn 7 down the hill. He can see Valdi Monkeys up the road and definitely wants to catch and pass him if possible. Monkeys controlling things from 2nd place. Masters for 4th with Nusios on his tail. Sabertech's Derek Smallberger closing them down. They come across the line and down into turn 1 again. Nusios hangs on for now, but only just. Rory Atkinson, though, dominating, getting away from this pack in a big way. Big welcome back to everybody here after a little bit of issues there with our load shedding. Charisse van der Merwe applying the pressure onto Elna Cruiser and Kaushan Naidu. GTR performance car taking on the ATE brakes machine of Elna Cruiser, and then it's Hot 91.9's Charisse van der Merwe. That's Darby's sister, just down the road from him in Class B, fighting for a possibility of as high a position as possible in the Class B contention. Charles Anderson, a bit further back in that pack as well. Apologies, they're not Darby's sister, just with the same surname. But also some big contention there as Darby closes down on the back end of Voldy Monkeys. He's got Wayne Masters along for the ride. Masters following him through. There's a move on one of the back markers. Coming through there on the 70 car. Well, problems there, unfortunately, for one of those cars. No worries at all as Voldy Monkeys is second place in Class A. Third place is Darby van der Merwe. They're coming up on the 79 car there of Charles Anderson and overtaking Anderson. Problems for the Class C contender just a bit further back. Hasn't quite the pace that he wanted. Andre Needham with a bit of pressure now as well. Needham slowly but surely being closed in there. And Nick Setanich applying the pressure as well. Sharice van der Merwe all over the back of Karshan Naidu, hasn't found a way through yet, but they have got through on Elna Cruiser. Further back, Rainer van Heerden in the police car, taking on the front end of Class C. Oh, and a spinner in the background. Spinner in the background there. Andre Needham and Adrian de Beer. And I'm just trying to pick up who that is. The 56 car, it's Class B, 56. And looks like, yeah, Kutsia getting out of shape there. Ethan Kutsia for the second time. He's gone off track, but of course he avoided action as he went down the back straightaway and had to try and stay out of harm's way with all the oil that was dropped. But Kutsia back on track now and in the mix for Class A. Ethan and Mitch, of course, two young drivers that have joined the Volkswagen Challenge this year and are definitely getting better and better behind the wheel of each of their cars respectively as they get into the thick of a very competitive category. On the left-hand side there, Rory Atkinson ahead of Voldy Monkeys, Darby van der Merwe and Wayne Masters, Smallberger, Nusias, Hopkinsdale, and then we got Stian Kriel into single digits and leading Class B. Ahead of the 77 of Leighton Fourie. 3 is Stuart Mack, and in fourth place, Karshan Naidu in the 72 car with the 115 of Sharice van der Merwe all over the back of him, Elna Cruiser, and then Andre Needham. That's how it stands for the top 15 in Class A and B. Oh, look at how hard Darby's having to fend off the intentions of Wayne Masters. They come through now, turn 5. You see us dropping back through the pack. He was right up in second place at the start, even went for the whole shot. But unfortunately, oh, and a little mistake there from Darby. Little mistake from Darby, got the back end, stepped out, and Wayne Masters said, thanks, I'll take that. And squeezes through up into third place. So Wayne Masters into third, Darby down to fourth place now. Team Red Racing and Universal Motorsports, Darby van der Merwe taking on the Performance Masters Polo of Wayne Masters. Elna Cruiser trying to return the favour there and get onto the back end of Sharice. Here's the lead battle for Class B. Stian Kriel with massive pressure being applied by Leighton Fourie. Fourie looking for a way through there. Creative Inc. Motormart car taking on Team Red Racing and Universal Motorsports, Leighton Fourie. Remember, this is the championship leader in the national polos at this point in time. So he knows what to do. And of course, Stian Kriel has had national championship polo experience as well as multiple championships in the Volkswagen Challenge. He makes a welcome return to Volkswagen Challenge, only to be given a good run for his money by a rookie. And the rookie is definitely not holding anything back here on Stian Kriel in his attempt to get past. Backmarker could help him out here. They come up on Mitch Kutsia by the looks of things, yes. And Stuart Mack looking to pounce if something goes wrong. Kriel goes defensive. Going to make Leighton Fourie drive around his outside, but watch the cutback here from Leighton Fourie. Trying to fend off the intentions there from Stuart Mack in the PoziDrive car. Oh, it's brilliant stuff here. Kriel versus Fourie versus Mack. 3 cars and less than half a second between the 3 of them. Now defensive driving from Kriel. Oh, he comes across, right across on Stian Kriel on Leighton Fourie. Oh, and he runs wide, and Leighton Fourie's going to make him pay. And they go now 3 by 3 into turn 1. Oh, a little touch. A little touch there between Kriel and Leighton Fourie, and they stay side by side into turn 1. Brilliant stuff there. Fourie loses out big time. But a little touch there between Leighton Fourie and Stian Kriel nearly ended up in tears. That could have been very, very worse than what it was. As they come out of turn 2 now, Stuart Mack has got himself in the meat and the sandwich there between the multiple champion and the rookie. Stuart Mack with awesome experience in this category as well. And doing a super job for the naming rights sponsor of this category too, putting his PoziDrive Polo into the mix here for Class B. This is the kind of action you always see in Volkswagen Challenge, and it usually happens in all three of the categories. Have a look at this. Here they come down into G&H Transport Corner, the final turn at Zwartkops. Leighton decides to cut back and go right behind Stian. Stian leaves it braking very late and opens up the door, which allows Leighton Fourie to come alongside him. There's a little contact between the two of them as they come onto the main straight, but watch for the reverse on the angle of the camera here. And as they go to that second camera, watch the touch. Oh, yo! That could have ended up in tears. He got a little tag and he came across on Stuart Mack. Stuart Mack also got a tag. And there's a Universal Team Red Racing paint on the Creative Ink car and on the inside on the PoziDrive car. So Leighton holding nothing back here to try and get to the front and fend off these two for the win in Class B. Karshan Naidu looks like he's been overtaken now by Sharice van der Merwe. Yes, he has. That's a foot further back there for about 4, 5, and 6th place in Class B. As they come now through turn 2. Continuing to see the action. Fourie has got ahead of Mack again. But Creel's got a bit of breathing room. Is there enough breathing room there as we're into, this looks like it is the last lap by the looks of things. So final lap here, we're going to have to keep an eye out on Class A as well coming to the line. Stian Creel, 2nd place will be Valdi Mankies. Creel's got the flag, he's taken the win. Mankies will take 2nd place. And Wayne Masters has hung on by the looks of things to keep out Darby van der Merwe for 3rd. Yes, he has. There's confirmation of Class A. Behind that, the Sabertech car of Derek Smallberger beats out Stelios Nosios. And Chris Dell for the win there. Is that De Beer? Yes, it is. De Beer coming across the line. Class C at this point in time. Oh, we only got the top 20 on our timing board, so I can't give you who was at the lead of Class C, but I would say it was either Adrian De Beer. Here's the Class Bs to the line as well. Coming through there. And waiting for, of course, that big battle. The rest of them coming through. Here comes the rest of Class B down towards the final corner. Lindsay Kleur going at it there. The pink wing mirrors is Leon Oudendal. Chris Davidson tucked in behind him. Lindsay Kleur as they come to the line to complete Class B's steam train of cars. Good run there from all of them coming through to complete the first heat here of PoziDrive Volkswagen Challenge after a slight delayed start due to an incident at the first outing there. But second outing certainly proved to be awesome. Stian Creel did take the victory ahead of Leighton Fourie and Stuart Mack for the top 3 in Class B. Unofficially, of course, there. And then in Class A, Atkinson ahead of Valdi Mankies and Wayne Masters. I would say Mussolini might have taken the win in Class C ahead of Adrian De Beer, but I haven't got confirmation on that. As soon as we do, I'll give you that confirmation from the results that get posted onto the WhatsApp group. So down in the Park Fermé area now, we got Rob Portman catching up with a couple of our drivers. I think he's caught up with Class B winner, Stian Creel.
I've just got top 3 drivers from the B class, but the man that was able to hold them all off, I don't know how. Stian Creel, you said on the start line that it was get out front and stay there. That's what you did, but rubbing is very much racing in the PoziDrive class.
Yes, luckily the 3 of us actually had very little contact. I've like a few rubs on my rim, but we did a small setup change before the race. Thought it would help because I knew there was going to be oil because of the historics and stuff. And then I caught myself out. The car had no front end, so my lap times were nowhere, and the 2 behind me was definitely quicker than me, and I just tried to make up on spots that I thought I could be quicker. But yeah, it was tough. As you can see, I'm wet. I'm not as fit as them.
Leighton, that was a fantastic drive. I mean, you really did try everything you possibly could to get ahead of Stian, but that's what the PoziDrive VW Challenge is all about.
You know, I mean, the pace was so close. I had to push everything I could out of the Universal car. And yeah, we caught him towards the end, but unfortunately just got a little bit unlucky through one with the boxing through Stuart and stuff like that. So yeah, but otherwise I think the positive side is good points, and it was a load of fun, so it's very good.
So heading into race 2, what kind of tactics can you deploy to try and get ahead of this man?
I mean, in my opinion, I think my pace was a bit better throughout the race, so I'll try to use that to my advantage. Try maybe if I get past him, try to pull away with the pace we have. So yeah, I think that's the tactic.